Tsunami Studios.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today we are talking about, if you read the title you know what it is, how I became a fan of Harley Quinn. This was just an idea. I was like, how do I explain this? Because I have talked shit about Harley Quinn for a long time, but it's only in like recent memory. I think within this year maybe, and we could get into that in a bit here. I really just realized I like this character a lot more than I thought I did. And the more I looked at her, the more I read about her, I started to really enjoy her. So I wanted to talk about my experience with that, because I think when it comes to comic books or movies or TV or anything in that nature, there's this big disconnect when you are just in this position originally of just hating something. You know, if you hated a certain type before or the way they changed a certain thing, I'll give you an example. Maybe it's like you didn't like when Jenica joined the Ninja Turtles. You're like, that's a female turtle. I don't like it. You went into with this idea in your head that you're never going to enjoy what that is or what it is because you don't like what it represents. That's what happened with me in Harley Quinn. When the character first was announced, I mean, I didn't really think about it because it was on the cartoon. I was a 90s baby, so I wasn't really watching the Batman animated series. When I first really figured out who Harley Quinn was, I think it was in Arkham City, the video game, because that's when I was like really learned about the Batman mythos. It's the first Batman game I played. It's my favorite video game of all time. I just remember thinking, I like Catwoman. I think Catwoman's a very interesting character. I like Poison Ivy. There's something interesting there too. But Harley Quinn has just an energy I didn't like. I don't know if it was the costume or the voice, but something about it didn't work for me when I first saw her, and in subsequent viewing of the game or in comic books or in other mediums like that, I was like, I don't like what this character is or what she represents. I don't think the Joker needs a girlfriend. Don't think that one bit. I don't understand why she was a part of that or attached to him in that way. She was over-sexualized so much, just made into this simpleton for no reason. I don't understand why. I don't think she's that interesting in the animated series, if I'm being honest with you guys. I don't think she's that interesting there. Something about her just always stuck out to me as something I don't like. And I always said this about the character. I don't think it's a character you should have worshipped or liked as much as you did. Every time I saw somebody dressed up as Harley Quinn at a convention, I was like, why are you idolizing this girl? She is crazy about a man who treats her like garbage and doesn't care about her, and is just terrible in a way that I don't find compelling. I don't like anything about that character. She looks cool sometimes. She's got some pretty neat costumes. I won't deny that. I think that's very interesting. But something about her, I just didn't understand why people liked Harley Quinn so much. And then it hit me a little later on as I don't want to say as I matured, but as I kind of maybe read more about comics and understood things a little bit more. I want to say, I think it was the Suicide Squad movie that put me over the edge a little bit more as to what not to do with Harley Quinn and what makes me like her more. Because I think Suicide Squad is not a good movie. I do not like a lot of it. I don't like anything about it. And I do not like the way Harley Quinn was portrayed in that movie. I think in that movie, when you see the way she's really willing to run through a barrage of bullets to jump into the arms of Jared Leto, it made me think, I don't like it. I don't like what that is. That's a toxic relationship. That's terrible. I don't want to see any more of that. I don't need it. I don't want to see that with Harley Quinn. I don't think that's what the character should be. And I think after that moment, I really started to understand what this character was, because I saw that and I'm like, no, thank you. But in later incarnations of that version of the character, I really liked it. I've said it before, Birds of Prey is one of my favorite DC films, if not my favorite DC film. I really like it, and I think that Harley Quinn is a little more interesting, and a lot of what I want to touch on today. Here is my opinion on Harley Quinn. Whether you like her or not, here's my opinion. Up until she broke up with the Joker, the character was god-awful. She had no development, she was over-sexualized, overutilized, everything about her sucked. I don't think there's anything redeemable about the beginning there. You just wanted to have a sexy clown to go next to the Joker. I get that. It happens a lot in comics and in movies and in TV and in stories, just in anything. It happens a lot. We over-sexualize women in these ways to sell more stuff. We make them a little crazy, a little ditzy, a little over the top. Women are going to like that too, and I find that appealing. Up until they officially made it that she's going to break up with the Joker, I think the character sucked. But it's that moment when she breaks up with the Joker that I think she is a well-rounded character that deserves to be a pillar of DC. She's earned that place. Because here's my theory. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not. My theory is Harley Quinn becomes who she is meant to be when she breaks up with the Joker, when she leaves him. It's the killing of Thomas and Martha Wayne. It's the death of Uncle Ben. It's the destruction of Krypton. That is her moment. That is her origin story. It's not when she is the therapist helping Joker. That's just part of it. That is her kind of losing herself in this way. But it's after the moment she realizes she was being abused and manipulated by him that she becomes a full-fledged character. That is when she works the best in any story. Okay? Look at White Knight. She is smarter than him. She doesn't want to be with him. Look at her ongoing series. That's 73 issues in. The Joker is hardly in it, and it's all about her on her own. That's what we like to see. Look at Birds of Prey. That movie is all about her finding her emancipation from the man that made her, from the person that created her. She's coming into her own in that moment, and it's beautiful. Same with the cartoon. The cartoon literally starts when she is no longer with the Joker. So after those events, I started to see what this character was. Because before that, in Arkham City, when I was looking at it, the animated series, when I was watching that, and in subsequent comic books, she was always with the Joker. She always was a part of the Joker, and I couldn't stand it. And I'm not a big fan of the Joker. I've said that before. I don't like that character too much or what he represents. I respect him, but I don't care for him that particular. So just making a female version of that, it didn't work for me. And I didn't think it was that interesting. But it's those moments after where I'm like, there's a lot of depth to this character that I don't think has been touched upon until she broke up with him. There is some ideas of good versus evil in there, of her childhood maybe being parts that affected her, of her parents, of her college years in subsequent stories. There's a lot of stuff after she breaks up with the Joker that makes her more compelling, which is, I guess, is that the point? Were we always going to break her up with the Joker, or is it because she became so popular we had to spin her away from the Joker? I don't know. I don't know where that would lie or how that would work in there, but getting her away from the Joker is what really made her a character and made her a pillar of DC. She is, I would argue, she's bigger than Wonder Woman. Okay, I think arguing that, you could say Wonder Woman is an icon, but Harley Quinn is an icon for a different type of person and a different type of world, and I really do think Harley Quinn has become a favorite character of mine, and I never thought I'd say that. I'm reading her ongoing now, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think there's a lot of fun and interest in there. Her cartoon is amazing. Just the depth that we're going into in this cartoon, it's great. And Margot Robbie's performance, I'm actually excited to see her in the next Suicide Squad movie. There's some really good stuff there. I became a fan of Harley Quinn because I realized something. I realized her journey begins when she leaves the Joker. Everything before that is bullshit, derivative, uninteresting. It is. I don't care what anybody says. After she leaves the Joker, she becomes a full-on character, and it's some of her best stuff. And I love it. I love it. I never thought up until maybe the past couple months, I'd say I'm a fan of Harley Quinn. Because I've hated what that character stood for. Something about it just never worked for me, but just when I've started to think about it in this way, since I've been doing these videos, I've just been looking at this character from a different light and just thinking, there's a lot more here than I originally thought. Maybe I'm finally seeing the thing that everybody else was seeing with this character for such a long time. Maybe there's more depth here than I realized or I understood before. And I think that's very poetic and very beautiful. I think that's very cool and interesting there. And it's just really fun to see because I think the character is cool. I'm a fan of Harley Quinn. I'm going to read any book that comes out of hers. I'm going to see any movie she's in. I'm going to see whatever TV show she pops up in because I love her. And I think she's officially become an icon and a pillar of DC Comics. And I'm very excited about that. So I wanted to share that experience with you guys. If there was ever a moment in your popular culture viewing where maybe you started off resenting what a thing was, but you learned to appreciate it over time because you looked at it from a different perspective. That's pretty much how I became a fan of Harley Quinn. You're just looking at things from a different perspective. I don't know if it's because I'm older or I'm more mature or I'm just looking at things a different way, but something about it now clicks for me when I realize her separating from Joker is her death of Uncle Ben. That's what makes her who she is. I think that's really fun. So I'm interested to see what you guys think. Have you guys always been a fan of Harley Quinn? What made you a fan of Harley Quinn originally? Did you have a moment like I did where you started to look at this character from a different way? And do you like her now, or did you like her before? I'm very intrigued by this topic, and I want to know more about what people think about this, because Harley Quinn was never my character, but now I'd say she's in my top 10 favorite comic book characters ever. So I think that's a really cool thing I can say that I started to like about this character. So that's really fun. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you guys can check me out on Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe. Good luck.